Hi everyone, Sumi here, your transformational shamanic coach. Just wanted to share a bit about who I am and my journey of how I got here. So my background's in sciences and I have a combined 20 years of experience in healthcare involving teaching and facilitating, 5 years specifically in energy healing, and 3 years in mindset coaching. Yes, I started when I was bored. All joking aside, my spiritual journey began in 2016. I was going through some personal circumstances and I didn't really know where to go and how to resolve the issues. So I did what most people do. You do what you know and you go to who you know. So being of Indian descent, I went to a pundit, did my prayers, went to the Gurdwara, went to the mandir, did mantras and made donations, and none of that worked. So, put out the call to spirit, like shamans, you hear of shamans and medicine men and women, and they've passed down the knowledge from generations, and, it seems to work in their community. So I put out the call, but didn't really know who to go to, and no one in my circle was familiar with shamans as well, so kind of just left it at that, and spirit had led me to crystals. So that's where my journey really began, and at the time I didn't realize it was energy healing or vibration that I was working with in the chakras. Hi Cynthia. So working with the crystals and going down the rabbit hole, I was led to Reiki healing. And not gonna lie, I was skeptical, but I decided to give it a try, and I went for my first session and there was no going back. And from there, I just continued on my journey, started working with personal development, and that led me to law of attraction and mindset coaching. And kept working on my own healing and Reiki healers amongst other modalities. And however, I wasn't really receiving the results that I was looking for, especially with what I was dealing with at the time in finances and business and personal relationships, especially with familial issues. And I kind of knew intuitively that it was my stuff that I was dealing with, but I never knew how to heal it or how to overcome it. So then, as I worked on my healings with healers, I eventually came to shamanic healing, and that was my big breakthrough moment for me. Having received that shamanic healing, that's where I received the results and that breakthrough that I was looking for. And some of the struggles were with black magic, finances, business, relationships, and familial relationships, stuff passed down generations through the bloodlines. And I knew intuitively that a lot of it was my stuff, but in order to receive that healing, I only received it through shamanic healing. And I'm grateful for my path, and it led me to where I am and how I became a transformational shamanic coach. And today I can help clients, having transcended my own trials, tribulations, and struggles. I can help clients release inner child wounds so they can overcome depression and manage stress and anxiety. That is a little bit about who I am and how I got here. And since healing and growing is a lifelong journey, I look forward to being a part of yours, and see you soon, and blessings.
Hi there, my name is Lauren and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and I just wanted to tell you about my experience with Suman for our healing sessions. I've met with her once in person and twice via distance, and I just love working with her because I feel so relaxed after every session. I can tell that each session things get better and better. My body responds different ways during the sessions. Sometimes I might feel a tingling, other times I know that she's working on a certain area of my body because I can feel pressure in that area even though she's not touching me at all. I would definitely recommend scheduling with Suman. If you want to work on something specific with her, have that conversation with her ahead of time and just let her know what you'd like to work on, and then keep after it over time. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a great day.
Hello, my name is Vanessa, and I just wanted to share my experience with you all. So I had an energy healing session with Suman, and in the session, this was a soul retrieval session, and I can say that from it, well, first off, I feel I should say I have experienced a lot of trauma in my life. More than one might imagine, you know? And not even just in this life, past lives as well. And the way that Suman came into my life, it was just as who she is, like at a soul level. She offered a service to me that she could see that I very much needed, and as I mentioned before, this was a soul retrieval session, and she knew instinctively, spiritually, intuitively, what I needed, and was able to provide that to me remotely, of course. We did this, I think it was through Skype, and I'm in the States. I believe Suman is in Canada, or I know she's not, you know, local. And I only say that to say I imagine that with her level of mastery, that she's able to heal anyone at any distance. And I truly believe that and feel that. After our session, I'll say the session lasted maybe about an hour. I don't know if that's typical or not. She's the first healer that I've ever gone to. Now, I have gotten a certification, not affiliated with Suman or, you know, her background, but I have a first level certification in energy healing. And as someone with quite a bit more experience, she was really able to help me in ways that are hard to describe, but it is the reason for this video, so I will do my best to describe. After, or I should say rather during the session, I could feel as she was working on different energetic points, like within me, I feel that my crown chakra could have been a major concern. I know it was for me at that time, and I know she also picked up on that. With, you know, of course, without me saying anything. That I feel like that goes without saying, but she was able to pick up on that, and I felt I could feel as she was working on her side, doing whatever it is that she does. I'm not there yet. I'm not on her level. But I could feel like pressure and tension being like lifted from my crown and third eye area. I felt a bit clearer mentally after the healing session, and other things that I felt that, you know, didn't happen instantly, but very shortly thereafter. I know for a very long period of time, it was difficult for me to find and keep work. And I say and keep work because it was a little easier to keep, you know, it was a little easier to find work than it was to keep it. And that's because of unhealthy habits that I had picked up over the years of trauma. You know, there are so many things that we don't realize that we're doing that lead to our low morale, lead to us being discontent and unsatisfied in life, that truly stem from trauma and a need for spiritual and sometimes also physical healing. Because I do know personally from my own studies that unhealed spiritual trauma manifest in physical health ailments. So, and a lot of times, now don't get me wrong, I'm never saying that there's not a need for the healthcare industry. We absolutely need that. We'd be pretty much nothing without it. But there are deeper levels to it that people are unaware of. And all I can say is from my experience, truly, I couldn't tell you all how many jobs that I've had. I'm 34 years old. I've had more than 34 jobs. And even, I'll say maybe a week after, maybe 2 weeks after our session, I started getting interviews, and I feel that the shift or the change was due to energy blockages. And whatever Suman was able to do within that 1 hour session freed me of a lot of those blockages, and a lot of things started to change. My finances, more money just started to come in, and I'm not exaggerating here. This is fact. And it's not just with the job. I have an Etsy shop, and my sales started to increase. I noticed that some of the conflict and tension that had been between some of the relationships that I had, that started to sort of dissolve. And I feel that it was because of the healing. I was able to maybe see it from a different perspective and handle it in a different way. So I know I've said a lot, but I just say all this to say that 1 hour session has already had a huge impact on my life in a very, very positive way. And I can't say enough positive things about her. I don't want to, allow this video to run on too long, but the healing was very, very worth it. It can be a little uncomfortable, to initially open up to a stranger and talk to them about the trauma that you've experienced, but truly that's the only way to heal. And spiritual healing, it's profound. That's all I can really say.
Hi, my name is Deja. I'm 19. I have what I'm planning on saying on my notes, so if I'm looking back and forth, which I will be, they're on here. So, currently, I would say my biggest struggles lie in my heart chakra, my root chakra, and most recently, my throat chakra. Physically is where I really see the problems with my root chakra. I overall don't really feel very safe most of the time or secure. I am working on it, and I've made progress over a few weeks of working on that, but still I have cold feet often, bad circulation in my lower body, back pain like sciatica, and issues with my legs going numb. I know that I've Googled it, looked into it, and it does say that those are symptoms of having an imbalanced root chakra. So I definitely want to work on that. My heart chakra, don't really have any physical symptoms of a blockage or an imbalance, but I know that I can definitely heal from painful experiences, hard situations, resentment that I may have towards people in my life, such as my parents, and maybe other people, but I think it's more prominent with parents and whatnot, because friends already kind of let it go. It is what it is. But throat chakra, most recently, it's become more hard for me to put what I'm thinking into words, and I noticed that I kind of stumble over my words, I use the wrong words. It's just, it wasn't like that before, but because of situations, I guess, well, a certain situation, it's messed up. But those are the things that I want to work on and heal from, and I hope with the healing sessions we can see progress with those areas. Thank you. So I had my first healing session today, and it was a really, really good experience. Afterwards, I felt so happy. I felt so energized. It was just like immediately in my sacral area, it felt so much more clear. It felt more like kind of like emptied, like something was removed from there, and it felt better. Really, it did. My heart also, I felt more connected to my heart and able to feel the center. It's hard to explain, but it's like kind of there was a disconnect that I felt before that I didn't even notice that I felt until after the session when I felt more connected there. But yeah, I just felt really happy. I felt really energized. I was so joyful. I was just like dancing around. It was really the best. It really was. And I can't wait for my next session. Hi, I had my second healing session with Sumin yesterday. It went really well. It was November 28th. And it was great. We healed an issue that I have with constantly needing to justify my actions, everything that I've ever done wrong, even the things that I do right. It's like it's a constant need for me to justify the things that I do and be in the right. And so we had found that was an issue with my throat chakra. She found, I didn't find anything, but she found that. And so she worked on it and healed it, and I'm not sure if it's completely healed because I do feel like it's a very deep issue inside of me, but I know that I have been healed, at least a good amount, because of what happened later that night. I don't believe in coincidences, and I know that this happened for a good purpose, to show me where I am still on this journey of healing this specific issue. So I had a Christian friend call me. He's very Christian, and our conversations can easily take a bad turn, and we have two conflicting beliefs, and it just goes bad. So he said something disrespectful about a deity that I really love, and it made me very angry, but I didn't say anything. Big thing, I didn't say anything. And he asked me why I wasn't talking, and I said, because I don't have anything to say, and I told him I wanted to get off the phone. I don't ever remove myself from a situation where there's an argument, where there's a possibility for an argument. It's like, I'm ready to defend, rationalize, bring out the intellect, bring out the Deja is right. And I didn't have to do that. And it feels really good to not have to do that. I'm so proud of myself for making it through that situation without going haywire and letting the ego take control and need to rationalize and convince somebody of something. I don't need to convince anybody of anything, and I know within myself what I believe is right for me, so it doesn't matter what other people think. And that is really big for me to say, and it's really big for me to not say anything. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm very happy about that. I'm glad that happened to show that, and I'm very thankful to Sumin for working on that with me, because it does feel much better to not need to be right. It really does. It releases so much stress, so much worry and anxiety. It's like you're making yourself have to do something that you really don't have to do, and it feels great. So that is a really big takeaway from that healing session, and I can't wait for my next one.
Hello all, my name is Vanessa. Today is Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, and I just want to take a couple moments and share with you a little bit about my healing journey and my experience. It has been quite a challenge, but it has been more than worth it. I've been working on myself for a little over 2 years now using Reiki and frequency sound healing. I have had in the past one healing session with Suman. It was a soul retrieval session that was very, very powerful, to say the least. I admire Suman and I appreciate her so much. Her gift is brilliant. That's the only way that I can, really sum it up. But what I'm hoping to achieve with Suman's help, her guidance, and her healing gifts is to remove the blockages that I have not been successful at removing on my own. Overcome the last little things that I still struggle with, and addiction is one of those things. I struggle because I smoke marijuana a lot, and I really enjoy it, to be honest. It's just, I think, a part of awakening, realizing that everything has to be within balance, and any form of addiction isn't healthy, and I'm aware of that. I've been aware of that for quite some time. It's just something that I've struggled with getting a handle on my own, I guess I would say. So that's what I hope to achieve. I would like to come into alignment with Suman's help, remove the blockages that I struggle with, and overcome addiction. Hello, it's me again. So today is November 17th, 2022, and I wanted to share a little bit more with you all about my healing journey. So yesterday I had another healing session with Suman, and she really focused on my chakras and helping me to release a lot of heavy energy that I was struggling to release on my own. So as I told you all before, I have been working on myself with Reiki for about 2.5 years now, and I've seen a lot of changes within myself. I'm a lot less anxious than I used to be. I'm a lot less agitated than I used to be. I'm a lot more calm in general, and I don't get irritated as easily, and I used to have pretty quick temper. Not so much anymore. I feel Reiki was able to sort of like neutralize and transmute and balance a lot of that sort of chaotic energy that was living inside of me. So getting the help of a shaman has been like the missing piece to the puzzle, to be completely honest, because Reiki can only do so much. I imagine that it works on us all a little differently, just according to what we've been through and that sort of thing. But in my experience, maybe it was just too much trauma that I had endured or been through to where Reiki could only do so much for me. But it's been wonderful reconnecting with Suman because I'm very intuitive, and so a lot of things I'm sort of guided to do in terms of my healing. But speaking to a shaman, someone that has all the knowledge and pretty much all the answers you need when it comes to healing, she's just been able to sort of connect dots for me that I wasn't able to connect for myself in a way. And I feel that the healing session was so effective because, one, I cried for probably 30 or 45 minutes of it. It was about an hour long, maybe a little more, or maybe a little longer, you know what I mean? But letting all of that out, not that I don't cry in my own time from time to time just about things that I've been through, but it seemed to like really just come out of me yesterday. Like, I can't really describe it so much, but I don't feel angry towards the people that have hurt me anymore. And different sort of perspective of the things that we go through in life in general. And I'm sure healing does that for all that are open to it, you know, open to receive it. So I woke up feeling really good. I went to bed feeling really good yesterday. And one thing I will say that, you know, sometimes old memories come to us. You might hear a song or have a meal or see a picture or whatever, you know, may happen to cause you to think of a person or think of a situation and almost take you back to that place, that memory, you know. But I can say that even though it's only been a day, but it's a feeling, you know, and it's just a knowing. And when I have those thoughts sort of like try and creep up about the past, that thoughts that tempt me to get sad and tempt me to get angry and just sort of be stuck in it and relive it and dwell upon it, those thoughts, I feel like they were all released yesterday, because when I did think of a particular person, it was, this is the thing, my sister texted me and asked me someone's birthday. She wasn't sure. And the person whose birthday she was asking me about is someone who hurt me tremendously. And usually I would say, you know, something like, I don't deal with that person, I don't know, you know, even though I know when her birthday is. So I just told my sister when it was, and that brought back, you know, the memory and feelings and thoughts of that person. But rather than getting angry or being very sad, I honestly felt a little thankful, because I don't think I would be as strong as I am, or even as aware of like the connections that I keep, had it not been for that person hurting me, if you know what I mean. So it was like I learned something from what they did to me, and I can more so look at it as a lesson and just see the mistake that I made in that relationship, connection, friendship, whatever you want to call it, and let it go. And I like really feel as though I've let it go, and I believe that I have. And so I'm just going to continue to embrace what I feel now, because it does feel much better than what I felt before, you know. So this is just the beginning of the healing journey, but I already see and feel a change, and even my children have noticed that. So I'm looking forward to my next session. Hello again. So I just wanted to talk to you about my second session. Today is November 28th, 2022, and this past Saturday, November 26th, 2022, I had another healing session with my shaman Suman. I call her mine. She's not mine, but you know what I mean. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how I've been feeling. You all know I shared in my first session, I was able to release a lot of heavy energy, and I feel like my second session just confirmed that and probably helped to release anything that was lingering. But within my second session, it was a lot more relaxing. Like I told you all, my first session was quite emotional. I definitely released a lot, and it felt great. And the second session, it felt just as good, but it was just a different vibe, you know. It was much more calming and relaxing, far less intense and emotional. So one thing that I really noticed as of now, something that I was struggling with prior to receiving Suman's help, and she's been sort of like a mentor and a coach to me in ways in terms of my healing. So there, like I told you all before, I've been working on myself for quite a few years now, and there were things that I just wasn't aware of, or just wasn't understanding. And when you are traumatized in any way, it can leave you feeling closed off and like you can't trust anyone. And a lot of times you'll just go with what you know, and that'll leave you in a position of like feeling as though you have all the answers, even though you don't. At least that was the case in my situation. It's not as though I'm a person that's not open to receiving guidance and help, but due to everything that I had been through, I was just very closed off and felt as though there was literally no one that I could trust. So it wasn't that I wanted to be a know-it-all, but I had to carry that attitude, or at least I felt like I had to, in my unhealed state, to protect myself. But I can't say how helpful it has been to be open to mentoring and coaching, because there are certain things that we may be doing in our process of trying to heal that are actually hindering us or slowing us down, preventing us from achieving the goal or the result that we are working towards. So having someone as experienced as a shaman, such as Suman, to sort of walk you through things and be there for you, and help you understand what you don't understand. And she is so kind and gentle in her approach. I know in my experience, I've not felt judged in any way by anything in my past. And when you're dealing with the shaman, you may be apprehensive, like, what will they think of you? What will they think of the things that you've been through? But none of that matters, because they come from a place of peace and understanding and acceptance. And it's very refreshing, to say the least. So that's about all I feel that I have at the moment to share with you. But I will be having another session with Suman today, and I'll be sure to, keep you guys posted on how that goes and what comes up for me, or what I feel is taking place within that session. Hi again. So I just wanted to give you guys another quick update about my healing journey. I would consider these updates sort of like a progress report, I would say. And I just do this solely for the purpose of, a lot of times, we want to hear about someone else's experience before we are open to doing things ourselves. Or, it's just like a review of a product, really, for me anyway, that's how I see it. I hope that this would help someone in their journey as well. So I just had today is December 2nd, 2022, and Monday of this week, I just had my 3rd healing session. Technically is my 4th, but like current sessions, consecutive sessions, this would be my 3rd session with her. And I just want to give you guys like, you know, a little status update. So I've shared with you all a big part of my healing journey is overcoming addiction. And I can tell you that this past session, I feel has been the most, I'm almost there session. Okay, so I was struggling last week. I think like between week 2 and week 3, it was pretty difficult for me. I could sense and feel the changes, and my mood definitely seemed to be elevated much more than it had previously been prior to the sessions. But I was still kind of struggling with some negative thoughts that I really don't enjoy having. So this past session, I've seen the most change in myself. Like week 2, I saw little changes just in my thought process. I could feel myself like, I want to tell you guys, but I almost don't want to because I don't want to sound like an a-hole or a jerk, you know. But you know, when people upset you, you can have some pretty like negative thoughts about them or whatever have you. Nothing horrible or god awful, but just not the most positive thoughts, right? Well, after week 2, I noticed that even when someone did upset me, like my thoughts in regards to whatever had just taken place, like the disagreement or whatever, they were much more pleasant and positive. I'll just put it that way. And then with week 3, my shaman is the goat. I'm not kidding. Okay. Okay, so week 3, I can't say I've had one negative thought. And I'm dealing with a lot right now. I just lost a loved one, and as you can see, the scenery is quite different than what it's previously been, and that's because I'm out of town helping clean out that loved one's home. And there have been visitors and people that come by, you know, to give their condolences and just to try and help and see if there's anything they can do to be of support to my family, which has been great. But of course, at the same time, when dealing with lots of people, you're dealing with lots of energies, and typically I don't necessarily do so well with dealing with other people. I love people, but I tend to isolate myself because they frustrate me so much. So, and I've been dealing with that even in this process. And the way that I've coped and handled dealing with just different personality types, oh my gosh, it is so much different than what it used to be. It is so much different than what it used to be. I cannot like stress that enough, and I'm not exaggerating, not one single bit. Like, it's unbelievable, to be quite honest. I'm sure that my family sees the difference in me, and it's refreshing, because the things that used to just like really get under my skin and quite possibly make me like match someone's energy if I felt like it was not pleasant. I have no desire to match anyone's unpleasant energy at this point. My only desire is to just be okay with people being just whoever they are, whether I like it or not. And then in the past, I guess would like almost like impose or force my beliefs or my way upon others, and you can't really do that in life. I know that's not fair. Even though I am a fair and balanced person, you still have to let people be who they are, right? And since session 3, I can say I am really being able to accept that, embrace that, and be okay with that, where even energies that are a little more aggressive in nature, I'm not allowing them to get to me in the way that I used to. And I cannot give credit to anyone but my shaman, Suman. I'm being 100% honest about this, because I've worked at it. I told you guys on my healing journey for a very long time, and there were things that did improve about me. I could see that for certain with Reiki, but there were also things about me that my stubborn mind just would not accept, if that's the right way to put it. And I'm learning how not to do that anymore, and it feels really, really good. I mean, and like I told you guys, so one of the big parts of my healing journey is overcoming addiction, because I smoke. I'm a heavy marijuana smoker. I mean, like, I probably on a regular day would smoke 5 to 7 times in one day. I mean, I would smoke a lot. And most often it was just to cope with different energies that either drained me, aggravated me, made me depressed, or whatever have you. It was just like, that was a coping mechanism for me, and I knew that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with smoking, but I also don't think it's a good thing to be dependent upon anything other than yourself, really, to have a good day. You know what I mean? So that's why my healing has been super important to me. And outside of that, when you smoke as much as I do, it gets to be quite expensive. I'm just knowing I could save a lot of money and do much better things with my money than smoke it all up. So this has been great. Like, week 3, I see the light. I see the light just like you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know? So I'm so happy about it, so thankful. And this is in the process of grieving. So I know that it's helping me, you know, not just overcome addiction, but just helping me be emotionally balanced in accepting life as it is. So it's been great. It's been a great experience, and I would highly encourage anyone on the fence about it, or, you know, kind of skeptical, just go for it, because the impact that it will have on your life, I sometimes kind of struggle to put in words, because before I make these videos, I do sit and like try and think of the most important parts for me that have helped me the most. So if anyone else is to see this video, they can kind of relate and be like, oh, well, this could probably help me with this aspect of my life, or this aspect of my life, or anything like that. So that's the goal with these like healing journey progress reports, is just to help others see that, you know, if you believe that you can be healed, you, like, without a doubt can be. And you may need the assistance of a shaman. That's okay. Don't let your pride get in the way. Take the help if it's offered to you, because it was offered to me, and I accepted, and I cannot say how happy and thankful that I am that I did. And also, last thing, I haven't smoked in like 4 or 5 days. And for somebody that smokes like at least at minimum 5 times a day, that is a big deal. And I can't tell you how much money I've saved. So there's that. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. I have a few more sessions in the upcoming week, so I'll continue to give you guys little progress reports in the hopes that it may help someone else. So until we meet again.